O'Neill, 2 L's. I serve the SGC under a General Hammond.
We're explorers. You see, we're from another planet.
The unstable vortex of a forming wormhole. Kawoosh.
Indeed.
Hello! Welcome back to the Kawoosh podcast. I'm your host Arne. I'm joined as always by my lovely host Evie. And today we are talking about show and tell.
You're gonna be talking, I'm gonna be croaking.
Well, let's start off with telling the folks at home that we were wrong. This is not a clip show episode, or at least I was wrong. I thought this was another clip show, but it wasn't. It was a full episode.
Does that mean that there's still a clip show coming this season?
I am not guaranteeing anything.
Oh, this is like I was wrong once, I will not let it happen again. I
Sort
can
of.
neither confirm nor deny.
So let's just get into this episode. What is show and tell about? Well, we open up in the gate room, which is quiet, and there are some scientists standing around, moving some wand-like thing and nodding.
Yeah, they're pointing and
yeah.
nodding. Yeah.
And then there is an incoming traveler, and everybody rushes out, and they try to close the iris, but it doesn't work. It keeps opening.
And it's the same guy who we've seen
Yeah.
like a couple of episodes now. And he's a sergeant, so I wrote down, I'm going to call him Sergeant Chevron. But then apparently he does have a real name, which...
No, he didn't. He was
No.
just credited as technician.
Technician, yeah.
I noticed.
But then they call him Sergeant, so...
Walter Herman is also a sergeant.
Yeah,
so-
okay. Well, the point is, there's still someone at the controls that...
Yeah. So Hammond arrives in the control room together with the rest of SG-1, and they see the iris keeps opening, and then Hammond gets kind of annoyed because it won't close, and then somebody steps through the stargate, and it's clearly a kid. We don't see the face yet, but it's a small person. He just unafraid, how do you say it? He just steps into the room. Fearlessly, yeah. With all the guns pointing at the kid, and he steps into the room. So everybody rushes in, and Hammond orders the kid to be searched. At which point Jack says, maybe let's let Sam do it because she can sense things. Again, pointing at the fact that she had the Goa'uld host. And she does so, she pats the kid down, she's very friendly, and she says she doesn't sense any Goa'uld inside. And also no Naquadah. And then Jack asks what the kid is doing there, who hasn't spoken up to this point, and then he says, I'm here to warn you.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 yeah.
Because, it's a kid. They're going to be dramatic. Yeah. I wrote down, Daniel got a haircut.
Yeah.
He got such an obvious haircut.
Well, if you look at the opening credits alone, Sam goes through a ton of haircuts.
Well, yeah, but like for her, it's normal. I don't know. This was the first time that I went like, Daniel, something's different.
When we come back from the opening credits, we go to the med bay where Dr. Fraser is checking out the kid, and she confirms that the little boy is human. So Sam asks what his name is, and the kid answers that, he points at Jack and he says, like, you're O'Neill. And he only wants to talk to Jack because his mother told him that he can be trusted. And he keeps looking at, like, an empty bed in the corner of the room when he says, like, something about his mother.
I love that. Like, they ask the kid a question and the kid answers with, like, a totally not relevant thing. Like, what's your name? Your name's Jack. Like, that's a very kid thing to do. Like, that was not what we asked.
Yeah, the kid also said that they've been watching Jack for some time and he can be trusted. So he references also the episode with the Native Americans.
He basically says, my mother has been watching you since Tonane.
Yeah.
Which immediately was like, and Tonane also had spirit friends who were invisible. So clearly their first reaction is going to be there's somebody invisible in this room. No! They're like, the kid has an imaginary mom. Which, what? That just made no sense to me.
Yeah.
That they didn't jump to, or at least,
to an obvious conclusion, or it was the wrong one, but it would have been a logical one.
It would, keep your options open. You have a Stargate in your house. I mean...
They always seem to forget that it leads to alien places.
But no, they literally said Tonane. Like, they reminded us that it was a possibility.
So yeah, Hammond takes most of the team with him to the meeting room, and then Jack stays and asks the kid what his name is, and he says he doesn't have one. His mother calls him son, and then he tells Jack, yeah, you also have a son, and he asks what his name is/was. So Jack tells him it's Charlie. He likes that name, and he asks Jack if he can be called Charlie.
Which is kind of painful because, you know, Jack just reconfirmed to the audience that, you know, Charlie's dead. Charlie's not around anymore. And then the kid is like, I like Charlie. Can I use that name? Which, again, is a very kid thing to do.
But he deals with it really well, and he says,
Yeah.
like, it's fine, you can use the name.
Yeah, and Richard Dean is already killing it with, like, the nuanced acting. It was really fun to watch.
So Jack also asks where he's from, and he says he comes from a planet called Retalia,
Yeah.
and it was destroyed by the Gold, and now there are some Ritu rebels who want to eliminate them.
Do you think they just forgot to name the planet and then somebody just blanked and went like, Retalia? I don't know, God. Like,
It's
either
possible.
that
It
or
sounds...
somebody thought they were very, very smart.
So in the briefing room, Sam tells the rest about what happened to the Iris, and she says it behaved like it was controlled by another keyboard somehow, like there was another person operating it. And then the doctor thinks the trauma of the Goa'uld attack is probably why the kid has an imaginary mother as a spirit.
And this is where I pause it. Usually you're the one who says, can we pause it? I need to take notes. And I paused it. I was so upset. So, the kid mentions Tonane. The kid mentions that his mother has been watching them since Tonane, reminding them all like, hey, do you know invisible aliens are a thing? Then there's Sam, who literally says it was as if somebody else was at a different keyboard that we couldn't see. And then Doctor is like, yes, clearly this child is traumatized. Nah, the kid is delusional. Like, what? I was very upset at the Doctor. Again. And I don't want to be upset at the Doctor.
She's also, again, barely in this. Like, she has, like, fleeting moments where she spouts some medical jargon, and that's about it.
She's constantly in there to be proven wrong. Which is very annoying.
It is, yeah. So Sam also says that it's kind of weird that the planet was attacked by the Goa'uld, and now they want to attack Earth to retaliate. And then Hammond wants to check if the information from the kid is accurate, and he wants Teal'c to join in and see if the kid can describe some Goa'uld tactics. So when they go to the med bay, the kid jumps up, afraid, he yells out, Jafar! And Jack tries to calm him down. Charlie doesn't believe that the Jafar won't try to kill him. So Jack talks to the air, trying to convince the mother. And then the kid points out, like, no, she's over there.
Which is, again, a very kid thing to do when you're talking to their invisible friends. Is this where Jack says, Teal'c saved my life one time? Because I think, like, one time, Jack? One time? No? Excuse me? Can I just say it also, this show has consistently been on point with the casting of their young actors. And again, this boy is very well cast.
Yeah.
And he plays...
They also do a really good makeup job on him, because when he comes into the show, he's bald, and there's some progression going on. So if you pay attention, you can see that there's something wrong with him. Like, his skin is pale, and he gets more and more of a sickly look to him, which will be a plot point later on, but it's in there pretty much from the start. And he also acts like it, like he acts like his body's not 100%. Very subtle, but it's there.
Yeah, he plays the line very well between... Yeah, he plays the line very well. I just put a random, Dutch word in there, why not? Between alien, but also a kid. And, like, this otherworldly, but also he's just a kid. Like, good actor.
So basically, because his mom told him he can trust Jack, he will trust Teal'c, because Jack trusts him. And when Teal'c comes closer, he suddenly reacts very heavily. He grabs, like, where the symbiont is, and he leaves the room. So he goes into the hallway, and he tells the others that his symbiont became very agitated, and he never felt like that before.
I think he said something like, I have never felt a symbiote so disturbed, which I thought was such a cool like band name. I don't know, a symbiote so disturbed. It's a very cool title, and I sort of want to use it somewhere now.
Then the doctor comes. Also, she comes into the hallway and tells them that the kid is actually in worse shape than they thought. Like his body is failing, and it's almost like it was put together in a hurry. So they put him through a CAT scan, and then they show the brain, and she tells them that the reticular formation in the kid is twice the size of a normal human. They're not sure what it means, but they think it has something to do with how he can see invisible people.
And instead of going like, oh, this could explain why there's a person in the room that we can't see, but he can see. No, this can explain why he knows things he shouldn't know. He's telepathically taking them out of your brain. Like, doctor, do you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Are you deliberately just going around the plot now? Like,
that's not very scientific.
no.
So it was really, that was
I was like,
weird.
oh, they got it. Like, no, they don't got it. Like,
They're throwing up all these red herrings.
yeah.
In the medbay, the kid explains what is happening. He says because the Ritu rebels believe the Goa'uld cannot be defeated directly, the Ritu want to eliminate all possible hosts, thereby Earth. They are horrified because there's millions of people out there in the galaxy, and Daniel asks if Charlie is a Ritu, and he says he's not. He's human, put together by his mother to be an intermediate. So Hammond wants to know if it's possible if there really is a Ritu in the room. So Sam says yes, because of quantum physics. Basically, the mother can be out of phase with them, so she would be invisible. And then they go on to discuss the possibility if it's all real. And then Charlie says his mother is getting very impatient with them. And suddenly a laser bolt shoots through the room and blows up a monitor.
You know, she could have picked up like a Petri dish or Petri dish,
Make
or
something
she could
float
have
or something.
like there's chalk. Daniel has so much chalk and chalkboards in there. Like she could have done something like that. Like,
but then you
damn.
get to the point like if she's out of phase, can she touch things? And if she
Yes,
can't
because
touch
she touched
things,
the keyboard. They can manipulate things. That's the entire point they already made. That's why the rebels are so dangerous.
yeah, true.
But yeah, so why not just pick up? I don't know. It just felt very dramatic.
That's because it was very dramatic.
Yeah.
So yeah, now they believe it, and they're in the briefing room discussing if they can, or if they'll be able to find the Ritu on their base. And Teal'c says his symbiont can sense it, but it's of course not very efficient. Teal'c suggests that maybe the Tok'ra can help. So Sam goes.
Sorry, but I love that he suggests this, like, my symbiote can sense it. And then Jack's like, but that's not very efficient. And Teal'c takes personal offense at being called non-efficient. And then Jack has to spell it out for him, like, you don't know how many, you don't know where. Like, and like, okay, but he's like, what do you mean? Oh.
Yeah, so Sam goes outside and she sends a signal into space. And then Jacob and Selmak arrive through the gate.
Like 2 seconds later.
Yeah, and Jacob and Selmak, of course, are the same person. There are other Tok'ra with them, but they're not named. They're basically some red shirts to be killed later on.
Spoilers!
Spoilers, yeah,
for this 90s
very old
show.
TV show. So Hammond tells them why they need the help, and if he knows something called a Ritu, of course Jacob does.
And he says Kree. He says Tok'ra Kree, and I'm like, oh, he said the thing.
Yeah, and they, with just those two words, they just go into action.
I mean, they were listening. They also know what a Ritu is. But yeah.
And then Hammond tells them that they might have one on base. So they immediately spring into action, and one of the Tok'ra goes back to the planet where they came from, and then Jacob asks to see the Ritu. So Jack is with Charlie in the med bay, and when Selmak comes in, Charlie immediately retreats, and Jacob also starts feeling unwell and exits the room. So in the hallway, he tells them, like, they're right, there is a Ritu in there with the kid.
Is this where the kid goes for crying out loud when he gets bothered again? Because the kid
No,
is
I think that's later on.
Really?
Or is it? It might be, yeah, but
No, it's
He had a
there.
funny reaction, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, he's taking over Jack's, mannerisms, which is also what kids do. Like, you only have to swear in the car with them once,
Yeah.
and yeah.
One of the other Tok'ra arrives and he has some sort of weird weapon, and they use it to go into the room and they scan around, and it makes the Ritu visible.
Yes.
And it's basically a very large bug.
Yes, but I love how they did it because they don't show it in detail.
No.
And they also don't show it completely. You can only see where the beam is. So they only show bits and pieces of it, which adds to the mystique of it. And it's really well done because the kid jumps up and he tries to,
Yeah, he jumps in between to
yeah,
protect his
but
mom.
that's very well done because that's not easy because now the effect is behind the kid. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was very well done. Remember how last episode we said they should have gone more alien?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
this is
very
where the
alien.
budget went,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, but the prop work was really well done.
Yeah.
Like it's really it looks like metal. It probably isn't, but
It's
yeah.
airbrushed styrofoam probably,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, and it reminded us a little bit of Starship Troopers. Like it's a big bug.
well,
but
not
as
right now
pointy.
yet,
Yeah.
but later on when we see him on the planet. But yeah,
True,
it's
true,
definitely a bug.
Sam also mentions that like if the mom wanted to hurt us, she could have done this earlier because she's been here the whole time. And then Jack comforts Charlie and tells him and the mom to stay in the room. So in the briefing room, again, they're discussing what to do now, and the doctor talks about how the kid is probably programmed to see the creature as its mother. So she's still, yeah, she's
now
not with
she's-
the program.
No, I'm just like, why?
She really is telling them all these things so they can be the correct ones and
Yeah,
give
and
the
it's
correct
just-
explanation for everything.
It does not paint her in a good light.
No.
Again. Like, it's kind of the devil's advocate problem we used to have with Hammond. And now they're using her for it.
So Jack wants to know about the redo, and Jacob tells them that they were a peaceful race and they were annihilated by the Goa'uld because they were a possible threat since they could not be seen by them, and it made them feel weird. So they made a transphase eradication rod.
Nice.
That's the thing. It's a, what did they call it? They gave it a shortened name as well, but T-rod or something.
Yeah.
And then Jacob has one of them, and that's what makes them visible. And the Tok'ra were able to rip the weapons off, so now they also have them, and they are able to terminate a Ritu. They can shoot with it as well.
Yeah, and then they give incredibly specific information. Like, this is how they operate. There's always 5 of them. No more nor less. Like,
Yeah.
5 is the number of the... it
Like,
was-
yeah, the rebel cells operate with 5. They go in, they place explosives, they get out. Like, they have a very
Yeah.
specific way
They're
of doing
very
things.
advanced race, and they never, ever deviate from this plan, ever. Yeah.
So yeah, the iris would be a good way to keep them out because even though they're out of phase, they won't rematerialize when the iris is closed. But of course, if one is already inside, they can just open it. Shooting them does not work, and the best thing they can do is get intel. So they suggest finding out where the planet is and then maybe go there for more information. So Jack goes back to the med bay where he finds Charlie crying because his mom tells him his mom told him that in human culture boys don't cry. So Jack goes in to comfort him, tells him that's not true. There's lots of reasons to cry.
Yeah, he immediately goes crying is okay, which I thought was very
Yeah.
nice.
And turns out the kid is crying because his mother wants to leave him, and she's going to leave the kid with what she calls his kind.
And I love how Jack, like, he tries to make it funny, but also comforting, because, like, that's like number 5 on the list of reasons to cry.
Yeah.
Of course, reason number 5 is mom is leaving, and then reason number 3 is mom has left. And he's like, you can just see him telling himself, Jack, stop talking now. He plays it very well. Like, he just wants to cheer this kid up. Cheer up
He
this
also
kid.
he also says like it might be a good idea for you to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
He also asks, of course, if his mom can show him where they can find the Ritu, and she will show them the gate address.
By shooting plasma at a
no
chalkboard,
idea.
or are
They
we,
don't. They
are
don't
we
show
picking
what
up
she
chalk
does.
this
Yeah.
time? Like,
Charlie also asks if he can be Jack's son for a while, but Jack thinks that might not be a good idea. After they taken care of the Ritu, he will think about it. So yeah, he does have his limits in.
Well, yeah, also he's off planet all the time.
So cut to the gate room where they're sending a malp through, and they are gearing up to go after the thing. Hammond reminds Jack it's a recon mission only, and when the malp reaches the other side, they can't see anything near the gate. So SG-1, SG-12, and some Chokra storm through the gate.
I love how they're like, this is a recon mission only. Be stealthy. And like, your gate just went like, and then a malp came through. Like, there's no stealth here.
Yeah, and actually they really rush through like
Yeah,
in an
but the
attack
malp was
thing.
already there, which
Yeah.
means this is the second time the gate goes vroom. Like, no. Why do you keep pretending that you're being stealthy? Like,
So they arrive in a desert setting, start scanning around them, and then they don't see anything, so they start walking away from the gate, and rather quickly Teal'c and Jacob react to the sense of the Rito.
but first, Jack goes like, watch your six. And then he does a double take at the Tok'ra, and he says, watch your back. So he translates for the Tok'ra who don't know what watch your six means. I thought that was very nice.
Yeah, and they go like, oh, they're over there, pointing at a ledge to their side. So they go, lie down, look over the ledge, and the whole valley is filled with them.
And this is basically Klendathu. I
Yeah.
got a very, very big Starship Trooper vibe here. Like, oh, there's only a few of the bugs. Like, no, there's
Yeah,
a lot of them.
There's tons and tons and tons of them. Like you said, it reminded me a lot of Starship Troopers, but also there was no real technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like they scanned it, and there's only the creatures.
Yeah, but, you know, that's cheaper.
Yeah. Back on Earth, they fill in Hammond, and everyone is afraid that one of them might have followed them. So
Which I still wonder how. How did the team get in eventually? Because eventually it turns out that a team of 5 did get into the base.
they probably
but-
just followed them through the gate.
But they had like their
They had the scanners and everything.
They
Yeah.
had the scanners and they had the Teal'c detector and everything. So yeah, unless they ran through the gate and immediately dispersed, so it felt like the effect was waning. Still, it felt a little bit like convenient.
Yeah, because they make a whole deal about that Sam now goes and installs like basically a palm reader, so you need a human hand to activate the iris or the gate.
Which I just, that means did they deinstall it later?
I have no idea. They
Because
don't say.
those things notoriously, like my hands are very cold. I would need to like try again, and then you can use a plum plum plum. Ah, crap, I'm too late.
While she's gone doing that, Teal'c suddenly grabs a symbiont, and so they have an intruder. Sam sounds the alarm. One of the Tok'ra starts scanning, and it reveals that there is a Ritu standing in the control room. So the Ritu shoots the Tok'ra guy and sends him flying through the gate room, through the window into the gate room, and then Teal'c takes out the creature.
Yeah, we lost our red shirt Tok'ra.
Yeah.
Also, how often has that window shattered by now?
Oh, quite a few times.
Is it kind of like car glass? Do they have a lifetime insurance after the first one?
They probably have a stock of new ones just ready to go. Jacob, Jack, and Hammond are in the hallway, and they encounter more of them. Like they can see like 3 or 4 in the hallway, and then they dive away. So a terrorist cell is in there, and they probably have explosives as powerful as nukes.
And what really annoys me is that they're shooting at the creatures who they think are carrying nukes.
Yeah.
What?
So they gear up, and they're gonna go and do a sweep of the base, and they go in teams, shutting all the doors behind them.
And I do notice right away, every team is given a red shirt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Every team is given 2 important people and a random person we've never seen before. And you just know they're dead.
Yeah.
And they all die.
And they all die.
Yeah.
Sam and Jacob encounter one that shoots them in the hallway from an elevator. Jack is with Daniel, and I also wrote down a red shirt. They encounter 2, and in a painfully slow shootout, the red shirt gets killed. The soldier with Sam and Jacob also gets killed. Then Jacob is grazed and throws his weapon to Sam, and he tells her to go after it. the thing is in an elevator, so Sam throws in a grenade and then walks up to the doors and blasts the creature.
And I love how Jacob trusts his daughter to do her job. Like, he doesn't treat her as his daughter right now, but as a soldier who does the job. And when she hesitates, because, you know, that's her dad and she doesn't want to leave him, he switches to Salmak. Salmak takes over to make her go. I thought it was a very nice moment. Like, for those three characters.
They do have good moments. Like,
Yeah.
They have amazing chemistry.
Yeah.
Daniel and Jack move up to the med bay. They're counting to 3 and then jump in. There is multiple Ritu in there. They shoot one of them. Jack dives out of the way of a shot, and then Daniel grabs the gun. And he doesn't know who to shoot. And then it gets a little confusing, but one of the Ritu
No, you
shoots...
got confused.
Because
but there
I was
was a
riding.
Ritu, and
But they were all armed, so it was a little bit like, who's
but
the mom?
Ritu got shot by the, and that's probably why they made the mom do the plasma gun first
To show us she
to
has a
show us
weapon.
that she had a weapon, and that because he gets shot by the plasma gun, so and then they pan to the guy, to the creature who did the shooting, so you make the connection like, oh, that's the mom, and then she dies, then she gets shot.
And then she gets shot as well.
Yeah. And then the last Ritu is shot by, and I kept track. Every one of the team gets to snipe one.
Okay.
So they like, even Daniel, and because Teal gets the first, and then Sam gets one, Jack gets one, Daniel gets one,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and the mom gets one.
That's 5.
So yeah.
After it's done, Jack hugs him, tells him he's sorry, and the kid suddenly goes limp in his arms, so they rush over to the doctor to check him. His
Which-
pulse is very weak.
Again, I know I'm constantly nagging on the medical stuff in here, but this kid is, the doctor literally says his organs, like his vital organs are failing. There's no sensors on this kid.
No,
None.
no.
No sensors. Jack has to be like, dog, this kid just went limp in my arms. And she's like, oh shit. Like, why aren't you watching him? Why aren't there any sensors on him? And later on, when they walk him into the gate room, put him in a wheelchair. Why are you making him walk? If his major organs are failing, like, doc, you're not a very good doctor.
Again, it's the writing.
Yeah.
They're acting like, oh, it's not a medical show, so it's not important. But yes, these details are important.
It just makes the doctor look bad at her job.
Exactly.
Which, you know,
So yeah, she can stabilize him, but like you said, 2 major organs are about to fail. Jack gets angry. He says, like, with all these fancy equipment, there's nothing you can do. And then Jacob steps in and he says the Tok'ra can help him. He's young, way younger than they usually do with hosts, but it is possible. And in the end, Jack agrees to it to save the kid's life. So they activate the gate, and Jacob tells them to keep the TERs. That's the guns.
okay.
And then Charlie gets brought out by the doctor. Jack kneels down, tells him it's okay to be sad when leaving a friend. And he promises he will visit and that Charlie will come to visit.
And we will never see him again. I looked it up. He doesn't come back. I wrote down here that we've seen a lot of mechanics up close in the gate room this episode.
What do you mean by mechanics?
Like, just...
the people.
Like how keyboards work and how
okay.
Like a lot of technical details of the gate room. I don't know why I wrote it down here in this emotional moment.
I'm gonna just wrap it up quickly. Salmak warns them that the Ritu are still dangerous. He also warns Tilk to be careful, as he is the only one who can sense them.
And
they
the
might...
Ritu will surely be back. I looked it up. They never return.
Yeah,
Never.
they might try again to send infiltrators, and then they say goodbye, and Charlie leaves through the gate with Jacob.
And Jacob is still wearing his wedding ring.
Oh!
He gives a hand to the kid and they walk off. He's still wearing his wedding ring.
Well, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
But...
he's still Jacob.
Yeah, I know, but that is...
That's
like,
a
that was a
cool
nice detail.
Yeah, on the whole, I liked it. Like, it's a very good idea.
Yeah. I just wish they could have found another way to lengthen the episode rather than having a doctor being bad at her job.
Yeah, that keeps
That's-
on annoying us.
yeah.
Like, why is she written that badly? Because it's a good actress. There's no reason why it couldn't be better. I also wrote down like Richard Dean Anderson is so good with kids. Every time they put him with a kid actor, it's amazing.
And I'm very happy that this was a Jack-centric and the kid-centric episode, because at first when they say, oh no, let Sam check the kid, I'm like, don't chuck another kid at Sam. I am so tired of this. And then they don't. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It was just a Tok'ra.
Yeah.
It was a very clever way of going like, hey, audience, remember that Sam, remember the Tok'ra, because we're going to bring him back. See, that kind of writing works. I wrote down, do we ever see the Ritu again? Answer is no. How many kids does this make off planet? We have Teal'c's son. We have this kid. We have Daniel's wife's baby.
Yeah. I actually, for a moment when he stepped through the gate, I thought that was the kid.
Oh, because aging up is indeed a very tired and overused plot device.
Exactly. But it wasn't. So I was
but it
actually
wasn't.
very happy that it wasn't.
But you have a very solid point, and it's actually, I know it's a trope, and I know tropes are good, actually, but it's one that enrages me all the time.
Well-
they age up kids in shows so often, like, oh, we have a baby, but babies aren't interesting. Let's, through the magic of science fiction, age up the kid. And I scream at the TV every time
but
they do it.
when they age her up into Morena Baccarin, it's fine.
That's different, because that's for the Baccarin, and that's the only reason I'll allow it. But like, they
Yeah.
do it in so many shows. Okay, whatever. No, whatever. What else? Sorry, not whatever.
This one was directed by Peter DeLuise, who a couple of episodes I mentioned him. He's one of the mainstays on the director team. He's also the son of Dom DeLuise, an actor who will be in Stargate later on.
Okay.
And Peter DeLuise is also the guy who wants the bigger explosions in the 100 or the 200th episode. Yeah, bigger.
Okay, so I looked up Chevron Sergeant, who is credited as technician, and his name is Daniel Bacon, and he has 9 episodes in Stargate
Probably
SG-1,
all in this season, yeah.
1 episode in Atlantis.
Oh, that's cool.
So I don't know where he is, but he has 1 episode in Atlantis. And he has a lot of movies, and for some reason, like 1 in 5 is a Christmas movie. Like, that guy found his market, apparently. He does all the Christmas movies.
I think Christmas movies are a big market
Yeah.
in Vancouver. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of snow there.
Yeah.
So if I want to shoot a Christmas movie, which you always have to do in summer to get it ready by winter, you go to where the snow is.
And also, it is such, like, you can never go wrong with a Christmas movie. There's always a market for
There's
it.
so many Christmas movies.
Yeah, but I just like that this guy clearly has, like, a career that you can just, you know...
But a lot of the guest actors on Stargate SG-1 are like working actors.
Yeah.
Like they're not huge names or anything, but they are always working. So that's pretty cool.
I did look up the kid because I was very impressed by him, but he didn't really...
Probably didn't do anything else.
I think it's so much luck, though. Like...
Yeah, and sometimes it's just like, oh, I did this. It was a lot of fun. Not really interested in acting. Yeah, can happen.
I wrote down, his name is Jeff Golka. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And he was 4 years younger than me. Yeah, he is 4 years younger than me. So not that. So just so you have an idea how young we were when this came out. That was it. That's all I read. The Ritu are mentioned in 3 more episodes, but they never come back.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you can go with this. It's a nice idea. It works here.
I think they were just trying to be underline the importance of them working together, the Tok'ra and, Earth.
And also show that there's some other aliens out there.
Yeah.
Like, there's some nitpicky stuff, and again, the ending was a little bit rushed. Like, how did those guys come into the base and they hand wave it away?
And also, are you sure there were only 5? Like,
exactly, yeah. Like, it just, oh, we have 5. We're done. Bye now.
Like, what if one of them calls in sick?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but...
So
yeah.
they had some ideas, but they stopped and they didn't think about all the
again,
details to make it really shine
We're
for me.
probably overthinking it again. I mean,
Yeah.
but it had some really good moments, and I love the concept. I'm just really hoping that the Doctor eventually grows a character, I guess.
Same, because I know there's this big episode where we lose her, and even back then it didn't hit that hard because she's so underdeveloped as a character.
I remember when we got to that point, I was like disappointed that we never got to see more of her or better of her. And then I was happy that we were finally going to step away from the unnecessary Doctor in the medbay thing. And then they replaced her with someone else and they gave her extra screen time. And I never liked that character. She was the daughter of the new Commander-in-Chief.
Yeah.
I was so upset. Like, no, less of this, not more. I was really annoyed. I never got into that. Like, also, you don't put family on the same base.
Yeah, I know.
But again, I think I already said this.
Yeah,
So,
you did. But at least she had a real character where.
Yeah, but the
Dr.
character was
Fraser-
like, you don't tell me what to do, Dad. Like,
I know, but yeah,
And also, we never saw Cassandra ever again.
Cassandra comes back.
Yeah, but not after the Doctor dies.
True.
Like,
True,
Like,
yeah.
where did she go?
I believe we will find out where she goes. She ends up in, I think, in the Stargate program. But that's for later seasons. So, yeah. Let's wrap this episode up. I had a lot of fun with this one. I loved the Klendathu.
Now that I just wonder, do we ever get a Christmas Stargate episode?
No.
That
That's not a
wasn't-
thing they did.
That's not a thing. No.
But how would you? That's a
I just want to see Teal'c in a Christmas hat. That looks like...
The weirdest stuff they did was in the 100th episode and in the 200th episode. They went even further, and I love them for that. But never
did-
like really themed episode. That's for later on. Next week we're back again. We're really nearing the end. There's 2 more episodes, I believe, before we end this season.
Is it going to be a cliffhanger? Because I
Yes.
just have a feeling that it's going to be a
gonna be a
cliffhanger.
major cliffhanger.
Does it get resolved 5 minutes into the next season?
I
Or
do
is that
not remember.
purely a Stargate Atlantis thing?
Oh, Universe was even worse with that. I was so mad.
Because in Stargate, at least they took a whole episode to fix the cliffhanger, but I remember it becoming this whole joke in Stargate Atlantis that it was drama and everybody was gonna die, and McKay flips a few switches and he fixes it in 5 minutes. Blink if you miss it, blink and you'll miss it, and then they rush into another plot. Like,
Yeah. Double episodes, especially if it's end of season stuff, is really hard to do. And I wish they... Well, they don't really do it nowadays anymore, and that's a good thing. Because most of them aren't that... The payoff isn't as great as the
Yeah.
idea of the episodes.
because I get that you want to leave your viewers like, oh no, now what? But, you know,
Yeah. We want
it's never
another-
now what. It's always like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And then it gets better after the cliffhanger is resolved. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will see you next week. And then I will see you next week. Well, I see you every day.
I'm just saying, where are you going?
But on the podcast. I will see you on the podcast next week. And I hope you'll be better by then.
Man, I hope so. I sound like a chain smoker.
So yeah. Bye.